Every day, more and more road users are filming their journeys, which can often end in disaster. Pioneered by motorists in Russia and Eastern Europe, dashboard-mounted cameras are constantly recording our behavior on the roads. From the bizarre, to the ridiculous, the funny, to the downright dangerous. The thousands and thousands of dashcams around the world have captured just about every mishap you can think of. Now we're going to delve into this treasure trove of stupidity on the roads. Put things right by pointing the finger of blame. Replay the action to see what really happened. And of course, there's nothing like seeing other people's mistakes when it comes to helping us become better drivers. And please remember, on all the clips, yes, that's all the clips we show, no one, and that means no one, is seriously hurt. So drive safely. Not everyone is this lucky. Coming up on this episode of Car Crash TV, more tantalizing and terrifying road use from all around the world that, had it been isolated to our charming British Isles, almost certainly would have flown in the face of the following rules set out in the Highway Code. Article 104. You should watch out for signals given by other road users and proceed only when you're satisfied that it is safe. Article 125. Driving at speeds too fast for the road and traffic conditions is dangerous. You should always reduce your speed when the road layout or condition presents hazards, such as bends. The one about the brake pedal being the one in the middle, unless you drive an automatic, but then you're on your own. And from What Do You Mean I Can't Fire Him? My Guide to Surviving Incompetence in the Workplace, Chapter 6, Kneel. If the seminal 8-film series of car crime dramas that began with the groundbreaking The Fast and the Furious has taught me anything, it's that speed equals accident. It's also taught me that Hollywood really is bereft of original ideas, and that whoever came up with the title for the second film, Too Fast, Too Furious, should never be allowed to work again. Anyway, speed equals accident. Don't believe me? Then check out these speedos. The exposure's terrible, the car's white, and he's speeding at quite a rate of knots, so it's a little hard to ascertain what's going down here. But, as this is Car Crash TV, I think it's safe for me to predict that there will be a car crash, because, you know, clues in the title. Yep, there we go. What a mess. Our work here is done. Sorry, what? I've got another 43 minutes to fill? Oh, for God's sake. 2 things to take from this clip. 1, don't speed in the wet. 2, don't hire this guy as your tree surgeon. He can't even fell that tiny ash tree, so I don't see him having the required tools to tackle your English oak. Incoming. Well, that's no way to drive in a built-up residential area. This is a charming suburb, not a pinball table, my friend. A shame, because if it was the latter, you'd definitely have unlocked the bonus ball after that. I don't condone speeding, but I'm gonna let this guy off because we're on board a truck, and the alternative would have been a bit unpleasant. I'm sure our driver is furnished with a CB radio, though, so the authorities will be along shortly. Ah, here they are, though it's daylight, so they've taken their sweet time. But it seems our trucker panicked, and much like Gary Oldman in the film Leon, has summoned everyone! If you haven't seen the film Leon, you won't get that reference, but you really should seek it out. It's a tremendous movie. Car Crash TV, now bringing you film reviews too. Is there anything we can't do? Speeders are very possessive of the fast lane, understandably so. I mean, how the hell is he supposed to flaunt the power of his family estate if you're in his way? If you speed, you have to make peace with the fact that you're increasing your chances of a collision, should some prat in a transit van decide to turn off the road right in front of you. Unless, that is, you have the reactions of this guy. Talk about threading a needle. Now go back and give him a piece of your... Actually, leave him. Looks like that guy is going to give him a piece of his mind. Punishment enough, methinks. As I stated earlier, speeders believe that the fast lane belongs to them. And if someone else is occupying it, the speeder soon morphs into an Undertaker. Fortunately, the chap in the red car is on my payroll. And as we all know, I have no time for Undertakers. Justice is served. You're welcome. My assistant Neil rides to work every day on a bike. He claims it's because it helps him keep fit, but I'm afraid to say, Neil, that it doesn't matter how many miles you ride that thing, until you stop eating steak bakes and iced fingers for lunch every day, you're going to remain morbidly obese. And please, we have shower facilities on site. Would it kill you to bring in some soap and a towel? Yes, Neil, you've got your work cut out to convince me that 2 wheels are better than 4. Sometimes they say the simpler the better, and sometimes they, whoever they may be, are absolutely right. Honestly, I could play this clip on repeat for the rest of the show and I don't imagine the ratings would drop. But we'd never do something as lazy as that. However, I think it's worth showing you just one more time. Lovely stuff. I know how it is. You've ordered your takeaway, and due to a lack of trust in their delivery service, you've decided to go and get it yourself. But don't allow your eagerness for a hot spring roll distract you from the basics, like looking before you open your door. I'd give him your free prawn crackers by way of an apology. If you think driving a car in fog is tricky, try riding a scooter in it. Actually, it's smog, not fog. And they've fallen off because they became overwhelmed by the fumes. But global warming and climate change isn't really a thing, right, Mr. Trump? I'm not sure how many people are legally allowed to ride pillion on a scooter in whatever lawless land this is, but I'm fairly sure having 4 people on one machine is going to be breaking even the most lax of laws. There's a great invention you might have heard of. It's called a car. When riding on a scooter, it's important to have 2 hands on the handlebars at all times. Although, if it's raining, it's apparently okay to use one of your appendages to hold an umbrella. What's more important, staying dry or continuing to breathe? You decide. I wonder, can these 2 light-jumping lunatics get up from their imminent accident before that timer counts down and the lights turn red? Let's find out. Just. You see? You can obey the rules of the green light after all. Earlier, you were entertained by a simple clip of a guy riding into a curb on his bike. Let's remind you all of that great moment right now. Good times. Well, I'm going to take that curb and raise you the bonnet of a saloon car. If anything, this is even better. We really are very good to you people. But you know what? I think we can top both of those. Observe. Comedy doesn't get any purer than this. Bottle it, and we'd make millions. Coming up next on Car Crash TV, we'll move our cameras away from the dashboard to observe some crashes via CCTV. Play another fun-filled round of hit or miss. And get our nerves shredded by some nail-biting close encounters. But first, Neil, what are you doing in the back of that rubbish truck? And more importantly, viewers, pray tell, what happens next? Well, at least we know why Neil always smells now. Welcome back to Car Crash TV. So what did happen next? Well, while you were away, I grilled Neil on what the dickens he was doing in the back of that rubbish truck. Foraging for food, apparently, which kind of made me feel bad about only paying him minimum wage. But then I remembered how awful he is at his job. Anyway, he tells me the staff there make him feel pretty welcome, but they can't resist the odd practical joke. Oh, Neil. Tell you what, there's an out-of-date egg mayo sandwich in the fridge. Fill your boots. made our name by being the one-stop shop for all your Dashcam footage needs. We're good at what we do, and that's why we nearly got nominated for a regional RTS award. How many other clip-based shows can boast such accolades? But we aren't ones to rest on our laurels, and are always looking for new and innovative ways in which to showcase car crashes. And so I give you CCTV on CCTV. How radical! These CCTV clips really give you an opportunity to appreciate the craftsmanship of the cobbler in this town. It's a lovely, intricate design he's produced at this intersection, but that can prove to be problematic when the local cobble enthusiasts flock to the crossroads for a butcher's. Perhaps stick to cobbling pedestrianised areas. Same intersection, but different clip. Mind blown. And look, this cobble-obsessed nutcase is so eager to take in the patterned stretch of road that he's prepared to drive straight into oncoming traffic so he can fill his boots. So close. But now you're just stuck on regular asphalt. You've only hurt yourself. Ruddy heck. This cobbler gets about. And it's not just motorists who have been bewitched by his designs. Poor cyclist was so transfixed he didn't even notice that parking barrier. I'm starting to think this guy is less artist, more menace. This is better, regular tarmac, so hopefully the drivers here will be giving the actual act of driving their full attention. No, but then this is Car Crash TV, so I should have really known what to expect. Christ, is there anywhere this rogue cobbler hasn't touched? And as well as being visually distracting, the cobbles also become slippery when wet. I started by praising this fella, but now I think he needs banging up. Yep, somebody call the cops. We need this menace firmly behind bars. Wait, no. Perhaps a stay of execution for our stone-obsessed weirdo. The blame here only goes one way. Larder alert! So, visually distracting, slippery when wet, and now this. Under the glow of tungsten, the glare means drivers can't see a ruddy thing. Who signed off on these cobbles? They serve no purpose at all. Wait a minute. I think I've finally discovered why these cobbles have been used so liberally in this part of the world. Reduced acceleration means ram raiders can't gain the velocity required to take out a storefront. Helpful, yes, but I can't help feel that the cons are outweighing the pros on this one. Magic. It's great, isn't it? Well, it is if we're talking about the mind-bending illusions of David Copperfield, the mental manipulation of Derren Brown, or the intense endurance feats of David Blaine. The magic we have on offer, it's less Las Vegas and more Las Skegness. Let's get on with it then. Pray silence for the incredible Car Smashini and his groundbreaking act known as Abracadabra.
Good evening, my beauties. And for my first trick, I brought the house lights down to add a bit of suspense and theatre to the routine.
Suspense and theatre? We should be so lucky.
So, my dears, will a lunatic light jumper be arriving from the left or the right? Abracadabra, it was the left.
Mind blown.
I don't need to be this dramatic, you know. I could just phone it in.
Wait, this isn't you phoning it in?
For my next trick, I will pluck a plonker on a scooter as if from thin air. But will he appear from the left or the right? Abra, scooter, dabra, it was the left.
You can't just shoehorn the word scooter in there and hope it works. Our audience are well educated, you know. They have certain expectations, and you are falling well short.
The heckling doesn't help, you know. Try this for size. A special CCTV round. Is this revolutionary enough for you?
It's different, I'll give you that. But how about the trick?
Oh, well, that is a classic. Will the SUV arrive from the left or the right? Abracadabra, it was the left.
Same trick, same direction. God help us if you do stop trying.
And release the doves.
They're pigeons, and I don't think they belong to you. It's just a happy accident.
So will my winged assistants be summoning a vehicle from the left or the right? Abracadabra! It was the left once more. I've been the incredible Car Smashini, and this has been your pleasure.
Arrogance doesn't suit you, and if you don't buck your ideas up soon, you'll be the one having a happy accident. Don't worry, folks. It's over now. You can settle down with your freshly brewed cup of tea. Join us again next time for the convenient toilet break that is Abracadabra. We live in a world where crime is on the up. Thanks a lot, Mrs. May. And with budget cuts diminishing our police forces further, the onus is on us, the great British public, to do our bit to keep the streets clean. I'm not talking vigilantism. I've watched enough Charles Bronson films to know that that never ends well. I'm talking sleuthing. Come on, let's do our bit for society and solve another crash scene investigation. Well, this is awkward. It appears the police are already on the scene. I don't want to step on anyone's toes here. However, I do want to get paid. So, like it or not, Plod, I'm getting involved. 3 very clear suspects and a bumper that needs reuniting with its car. Well, I can help with the former, but for the latter, you'll need a mechanic. I only get my hands metaphorically dirty. Let's run through the suspects at the scene. We have car A, looking largely unscathed, but facing the wrong way, so might be involved. Car B, sandwiched in the middle of the scene, so definitely a contender. And car C, who's come off the worst. But could that be due to his own actions? Let's find out. Okay, if you squint, you should just be able to make out car B in the distance, arriving at the junction. And there he goes, cutting across the traffic which leads to the impact with poor car C. Question is, did he have right of way? Well, if we wind back a touch, you'll see a set of traffic lights on green, but crucially, no filter light. That means he should have waited until the traffic on the other side of the road was clear before proceeding, making car B 100% guilty and 100% stupid for pulling that stunt in front of the police. Enjoy your time in the cells, my friend, and I'll enjoy my fee. When at the wheel of a motor vehicle, whether we realize it or not, we are constantly making choices. Should I overtake the pensioner who's doing 25 miles an hour in a 50? Should I heckle the cyclist who's making me feel physically sick because he's wearing lycra? And should I hit this plonker who's just pulled out in front of me, or tap the brakes and miss? Why, there might just be a top TV game show segment in that last choice. Would you like to play along? To kick us off, we have a juicy dual carriageway, and look up ahead, a 4x4, the likely fly in this particular pot of ointment, no doubt. Yes, there he goes, weaving in front of the car we're on board at the very last minute. Textbook. But will we hit the big fat fly, the lanky innocent signpost, or miss completely? It's a miss, and the fly continues on to pollute yet more bottles of ointment, the disgusting beast. What a lovely, crisp winter's day this is. Easy on the eye, but not so much on the motorists. Yes, the snowplower's done a bit of a slapdash job on this section of road, and I suspect there isn't enough room for 2 cars to pass one another. But am I right? Will we hit the oncoming traffic, swerve and hit that tree, or miss completely? And it's a miss. Actually, no, wait, I'm not sure. Let's consult the snickometer. Ah, yes, just the faintest of nicks. So a hit it is. Well, one thing's for certain. This piece of road's in dire need of some fresh tarmac. And the chap arriving from the left is in dire need of an eye test. So will we hit Mr. Magoo? Or dab the brakes and miss completely? And it's a miss. No thanks to Magoo. Give that man an eye test pronto. Quite a few cars at this junction. I wonder which driver will be the first to make a questionable decision. Of course, it's the bloke in the BMW. How predictable. But will his arrogant actions see the car arriving from the left hit him, swerve and hit the respectable red car, or miss completely? And it's a hit, but one we can all enjoy because replacement parts for a BMW are rather pricey. So his crime has not paid. That's your lot for this week, you lovely people. But do join us again soon for more Hit or Miss. There's a crushing inevitability to a lot of clips we show, as I'm sure you've come to realize. Car drives fast, car loses control, car crashes. Rinse and repeat. But as I've said, we aren't ones to rest on our laurels, so consider this next section of the show a clip-based curveball, or if you prefer, Close Encounters. And for our first close encounter, we're on a spaceship. How apt. That's right, viewers. This show is now so popular, we've gone interstellar. Someone get my agent on the phone. We need to discuss my fee. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Close encounters, no smash-ups. Well, this is going to be dull. Well, think again, people. If you weren't entertained by that, then you're already dead. That guy, however, is not, in case you were worried. I understandably go on a lot about people occupying the fast lane when they aren't overtaking anything. So while I applaud this guy for trying to get back in the inside lane, I would like to see him use his mirrors before doing so. Yes, I know, I'm a perfectionist, sue me. The next close encounter has resulted in a pretty tense standoff. Sorry, my mistake. They're both just perusing the menu before they decide what to order from the tea restaurant drive-thru. I'll have the special chow mein, please, and some salt and pepper ribs. Delicious. With most close encounters, I'm pleased to see the offender come away unscathed. This one is seriously testing that belief, though. The petrol station. The perfect place to have a close encounter to remember. Okay, not the most dramatic one, granted, but at least the driver can smile about how close he came to turning all his passengers into a ball of flames. Of course, not all close encounters are damage-free. This truck driver might have avoided ploughing into the back of that car, but he's taken out a signpost as collateral damage. Fortunately, our trucker is an upstanding citizen and is quickly out of the cab to pop the sign back up. Don't really rate his craftsmanship, though. Didn't you watch Blue Peter as a child?